Hey everybody, this is Saturday Morning Cartoons for the Gauntlet. We are playing Masks, A New Generation. I have to get my book to show it off. Where to put it? Oh, there you are. Yay! Although we won't use this a whole lot because the playbooks are not in the book, but that's okay. We don't need it because we have PDFs. This is a superhero game in the vein of Young Avengers, Young Justice, and Teen Titans, except not the Teen Titans, the Teen Titans Go, not that. And we already have a group of characters. Now, one of the themes that will flavor our game series of 4 sessions of Masks is celebrity, and the idea of superheroes as celebrity. It's a flavor. It's not going to be the main dish. So what I'd like to do is go around the horn and have everybody give me just a couple sentences of description, a couple sentences, not run-on sentences, of description of your characters. And then we're going to do relationships and how our team first came together. So I'm going to start with Yoshi. Yoshi, tell us about, is it Sika? Is that how we're going to say it?
Yeah, we're going to call it Sika. So Sika is a Japanese woman. Her real name is Mari Endo, and she is a legacy. She comes from a family of superheroes, and they all like embody an animal of some sort as like kind of like their public facing, like where they derive their insignia and all that stuff. But it's all different animals. So like I think maybe my mom was the kitsune, and somebody else was a different animal types of things. I don't have a portrait yet, but I imagine Mari is younger, so probably 16 or 17. She's got, in terms of abilities, like magic weaponry, mythic might, and godlike beauty. And she turns everything she can into a super cute deer, because that's what the Sika is the spotted deer. And yeah. That's it.
Turns everything into a spotted deer. That is so crazy. I love it. Awesome. Thank you, Yosh. Next, Steven, tell us about your character.
I am playing the Shadow. His real name is Tyrell Johnson. He is from the Doomed playbook. Tyrell Johnson, drug dealer, and ended up getting some experimental drugs from his nemesis, the Raja. The Raja was experimenting with the ability to give people superpowers through drugs, and this kind of messed Tyrell up. Are body transmutation, vitality absorption, and superhuman strength and speed, all based around the Shadow form of his body. I think the cloak from Cloak and Dagger from Marvel Comics is kind of what he looks like. That's about it.
Good. That's good. Okay, cool. Mick, tell us about your character.
I am going to be Finn Cooley, whose superhero name will be Argent. I have a silver left arm. This will be there's that, and I will be.
You have to hold that up like a lower third for the whole game, Mick.
For the whole game. So I'll be the protege, and I have a mentor who is also Finn Cooley, me 20 years from the future. Actually, the older Finn Cooley is the one from this particular timeline who belongs here. I'm the one who got ripped from the past. But that was last year when I was an innocent, and now I'm the protege of the older Silver Arm. The older Silver Arm has had his powers ripped from him, so now he's forced into retirement, and he's decided to be my old grumpy, old Bruce Wayne style mentor. And let's see. Yeah, I'm Finn. I'm from 1996. I'm now 18 years old. I've been in this timeline for about a year. And I can't think of anything else important to say right now. I'm sure things will come up.
Yeah, things will come up. Good. Thanks, Mick. Michael, tell us about your character.
All right, so I'm #, otherwise known as Marcus Ryan, a social media star who developed a huge following pretty much by following superheroes around and videotaping their exploits and posting about it online. He heard that this Raja guy, the Shadow's nemesis, had some experimental chemicals that could give you superpowers. So naturally, he had to break into the lab to investigate and get superpowers for himself. He's still pretty pretty focused on his following on social media, and he's still taping a lot of stuff. Like part of his costume is he actually tapes pretty much everything. He can tape everything that he sees and then post it online later on. He really wants to get a drone that can follow him around so he can actually be on the camera a bit more. That's something that he's saving up to get, and then he can start to star in his own adventures rather than just being the guy taping it, basically.
Nice. I love it. That is great.
And his powers are illusions and psychic weapons. His costume is it's a black and sometimes it gets kind of shiny because he's got that kind of illusion power. He can kind of manipulate what he looks like a little bit. But the hashtag element is actually the whole thing is cross-hatched, basically. Unless you look closely, you probably wouldn't see it, but that's where the hashtag comes in. His face is mostly exposed. He's got a bandit style mask. He wants it to be pretty clear who he is.
Nice. I love the cross hatching is really clever. That's a nice touch. That is really cool. It's a little comic booky inside out too. It's good. It even kind of dips into RPGs and map making. So it's amazing. Really good work. Good work. We're done here. No. Fraser, tell us about your character.
So I'm the Janice, and I'm going to be playing Impulse, whose name is Bradley Clover. He's male, Latino, in boring clothing. He's got a flashy costume that's a full disguise, and he is a speedster. And he's going to be sort of trying to juggle his day-to-day normal life with responsibilities for saving other people. And I like the fact that he's so busy, but he doesn't have time for everything, even though he's the fastest kid alive kind of thing. That's what I'll be playing up.
Yes, you'll constantly be choosing the one thing you have to neglect.
Exactly. Mary Jane. Yeah.
Very awesome. Oh, yes. Cool. Let's stick. Oh, sorry.
Rich, I'm sorry. I said who I was, but I actually never mentioned what my powers are. Just so everybody knows. It's pretty simple. I have a silver arm. It's think of it as a mystical living metal entity from beyond somewhere, whether you want to think of it as a mythical thing or a cosmic thing, who knows. But it actually is symbiotically becomes my arm. So it's my flesh is still there, but it's silver, right? Okay. And power-wise, I'm Green Lantern. I can use my imagination and my will to create constructs out of light. It just so happens that mine sort of are bluish silver instead of green.
Nice. Now,
but it's pretty simple.
Sorry, someone had a question? Fraser?
Yeah, I was going to say, watch out for your arch nemesis, the primary color opposite you. Yellow is coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yellow leg. No.
The mythology is Celtic, but I'm not very Irish about. Finn is of Irish ancestry, but other than that, we never have played up the Irish aspect of it much. But
let's stick with Impulse here because you have some backstory, and that's the one thing we're going to resolve here. Now, if nothing appeals to anyone, then of backstory elements, that's okay. We can always play forward and discover stuff as we go, but I'd like to at least go through a few of the important backstory elements. So kick it off. Sorry, relationships and backstory. So would you first put on the mask?
I think I'm 16 now, so maybe just a year ago, I'm a new hero, or maybe even 6 months ago.
Okay, Cool.
Yeah.
And why do you keep a secret identity? Because of this celebrity culture, you'd have it made.
Yeah, I think that, and I like the idea of maybe there was a superhero, like urban legend, or maybe because they were popularized so much, maybe like a Spider-Man Gwen Stacy thing happened, and it was like live kind of thing, right? Where like he failed very publicly, and someone like that he was close to died, kind of thing, something like that. So
Wait. So like early on in Impulse's career, he
no, he
somebody-
watched this happen to somebody
Okay,
else on
okay.
TV. So he's like, this could happen to me, right?
Oh, so a thing where someone was public and one of their dependent, normals
Yeah.
was killed by a villain, and you saw that and you're like, okay, I'm not going to let that happen to my family.
Exactly.
That's really cool. I really dig that. We need to know who that is, because they won't show up. But we should know them anyway.
Yeah. Or will they?
That's not one I want to use because that's scary. The Lawman.
Sure.
Is that cool?
Yep.
So the Lawman lost someone important to him in a very public and showy way, and that's why you made your very wise decision of keeping things private. Cool. And then who outside of the team knows about your dual identity?
I think I have like a best friend, and I'm gonna be like a pretty nerdy, awkward kid, I think. And my best friend is going to be like opposite that. He'll be like a kid who's on the track team and all that kind of stuff. So we're sort of like disparate friends or whatever. And he will know my secret identity, because maybe I like the idea that I'm really, like, obviously now I'm good enough to be on the track team, but before I was too. And maybe we were going for like a friendly race, and when I hit like puberty or whatever, my powers kicked in, and he found out because I literally like destroyed him in that race. Like we went all like stop motion time, and I just like lapped him a few times and said, on your left, on your left, on your left, right? And yeah, so he was there for when it happened, and that's why he knows.
Sweet. We are going to say that his name is Alex, but I'm trying to find a cool last name. I think Alex last name is... Oh, cool. This is nice. How about Alex Singson?
Cool. Sounds good.
He's of Filipino descent.
Cool.
All right, cool. I've dropped him in. And let's see. Let's go ahead. We'll figure out who thinks the worst of your mask's identity and in later. We'll find out later.
Yep.
But let's jump into relationships. So who knew you from your civilian life first? And you'll ask the next one, but I'm excited, so I asked it right away.
Like one of the other characters.
Yeah, it's a player
right? This
character.
is like
Sorry.
a Bonds kind of thing, right?
Yes, it's like a Bond thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Does anyone have any ideas? I could open it up to pretty much anybody.
So it appears that Mari Indo is the same age as you.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. So what was the bond, or what was the thing?
You knew me from my civilian life first, so
Cool.
maybe same school or something like that. I'm an intern too, so maybe we could be interning at the same job. Something
Possibly.
like
I kind of like the idea of maybe if we had a school, like it's almost like a elite school type thing of like a private school type thing where people know that since heroes are celebrity, that like this school has a lot of kids who are not necessarily heroes, but like have the potential, and they're like kind of keeping an eye out for it, or type things. Like
okay.
that. Does that work for you?
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe, Fraser, since your character is keeping a lower profile, do you think you maybe have an immediate relative who works on the staff of this school, and that's how you get in?
Sure. My parents are teachers in real life too, so that'll be fun.
Hey man, me too. My parents are teachers. They're both retired, but yeah. All right. So, is it your mother or father who is an employee?
Father.
Should we just call it Powers High School? Should we call it Gauntlet City High School? No, I'm joking. All right, cool. So we got that high school tie. That's good. And you've got one more relationship.
Let's see, where's that? It is gonna be.
You refuse to tell.
Blank your secret identity when they asked.
You can choose that one. Who did you refuse to tell your secret identity to? I have a guess.
It could be the delinquent if they're always looking for like more spotlight and stuff like that, right?
That would be really smart.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it seems like that would be the thing.
Sweet. All right. So you have influence to hand out as well. Sorry, it's a long character generation process. Thank God we're playing 4 sessions.
Influence to hand out.
It is on page 10, bottom left-hand corner. You look up to your teammates. They seem to have this superhero thing figured out. Give 2 of your teammates influence over you.
Okay. Probably I'll give it to the protege, and I'll give it to the legacy.
Cool. So on row 43 of the character sheets, you can put I have influence over impulse.
Okay.
And that would be for Argent and Sika. Sweet. Michael, let's jump into you. Delinquent. Okay, so you've got a few backstory questions we'll ask here. How'd you get your powers?
So we've kind of established that, but
we got that.
I heard that this Raja guy, was experimenting on this sort of thing, and I had to get a taste, basically. I was, covering the superheroes, but also like a little bit jealous. The way that we mentioned that high school, I knew the only way they couldn't turn me down is if I actually had powers. So to get my inside line, I did what I had to do, basically.
Oh, so you're like you're a new student. You just started at
maybe. I feel like I've been there for like a year, maybe.
Okay, cool.
Relatively, like I haven't been there the whole time.
God, this is great. I love this. This is awesome. Okay, cool. What do you do for fun?
I like to party hard and like go out like dancing at like at like clubs, basically. I'm like, even though I'm like only like 16, 17 years old, I mean I can get in anywhere because I've got psychic powers and like illusion skills. So
wow. Okay.
Sneak my way in.
Ooh, here we go. Who outside of the team thinks better of you than you do?
I think that maybe I'm like a star student because I cheat a lot. And like one of my teachers like actually thinks I'm like legitimate. And maybe I actually am legitimately talented, but I'm not someone who's like putting the time in. But like this teacher, and I don't have a name for.
I think that name is Mr. Clover.
What?
I think Mr. Clover is your teacher who thinks better of you. Cool. We good with that?
Definitely. Let's do it. Yeah.
Mr. Clover thinks. Yes. This makes me excited. Cool. All right. And you've got some relationships to offer up?
to I keep trying to impress Blank with my antics. I think I'm gonna go with Shadow here. He's dark and mysterious. I kind of keep on trying to win him over, basically. My guy's like super interested in sort of like his character, who he is, and like what's going to happen to him. So I'm always trying to, or at least some of the time, I'm trying to impress him.
I love it. And then you and someone else pulled an awesome, if illegal, stunt together. Who's that?
Does anybody want to volunteer for that one? If not, I guess I'll grab. I think I want to grab. What? Yeah.
I was gonna say I can do it because one of my backstories is you once got caught doing something that shames your legacy with, and that could totally fit in here. Like we were doing something that was awesome, illegal, but my legacy is like, fuck, why would you go and do that?
Yeah. I guess the question there then is like, what were we doing? I like this. Let's see.
It's probably taking advantage of the fact that I have like super strength, like legendary might, and you are filming it. It's got to be something like throwing a car as far as we can, or something like that.
That sounds like a great YouTube like, hijinks type video too. It totally trended and
yeah, exactly.
Car tossing. I love it.
All right, cool. And then I give influence to 3 people. Let's see. I think I'm going to give it to both the people that I just established that with, Shadow and Sika. And then for the third, let's go with. I'll go with Argent because I've got kind of that dynamic with what's his name? Oh no, wait. Clover's the wait. Yeah, I'll take the influence with Clover since like I'm still trying to figure out their identity. So those 3.
Nice. I like it. So please, yeah, make sure you note that you have influence over hashtag impulse. All right. So then let us move on to Argent, our beloved Protege. Okay, we got some questions for you. We've already, I love it. We already have a lot of the backstory, which is pretty awesome. And I think I know why they agreed to train you, because they didn't want you to embarrass themselves.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So let's just jump all the way down to relationships, if you're okay with that. So
let's see if there's anything.
You and so-and-so teamed up a few times before the rest of you came together. Yeah, thoughts on that one?
Let's see. Who's been around the longest here on the team?
So I've been known for a long time because I'm the legacy. Like, even though like I haven't been big, like I'm 16 now, but like people have known about me and expected me to do something for the last like 3 or 4 years, even though like I haven't done anything.
Sika, that's perfect. The protege and the legacy.
It ties back to the idea of the previous generation that those two work together. So you guys have play dates.
I love it. Okay, yeah. So
okay, your mentor is cautious. They asked you to keep an eye on one of the team members. Who's that?
Oh well, it's totally hashtag.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You got some influence. Choose your demeanor: playful or business.
I'm relatively playful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if it's between those 2 choices, I'll lean playful.
All right. You give influence to 2 teammates.
I give influence to 2 teammates, huh? Sika definitely has influence over me.
Okay. Who else?
And I think it would be cool for Shadow to have
nice. Good choice.
Influence over me.
I like it. All right, some of this we've hit, Stephen, when we talk about your doom. But to see, let's talk a little bit about your sanctuary, just because I don't think anybody else other than maybe Yoshi knows about it. So where did you first, or where did you get your sanctuary, and what is it a little bit?
So my sanctuary is it's another realm that is only accessible through my through the darkness and the shadow of my cloak. It's a teleportal. I think so. I think I can transfer other people through this as well as myself.
Yeah.
I think that's where the superhuman speed comes from. Is the ability to transfer from place to place through the cloak, and it is it has some healing properties. It has some. It's a good place. It's a place that I go to meditate and kind of center myself from the impending doom that's coming.
Oh, I just noticed that when you mentioned. Well, I just noticed it because you said it out loud. Impulse and Shadow, you both have superhuman speed. Do either of you have a problem with that overlap? I'm just checking in. That's all I'm doing.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I think the superhuman speed in this case is from the Shadow's point of view is just the part of the teleportation.
Okay.
It's not just I can transfer someplace like normal teleportation, but also that it's very quick to move during close to close combat or whatever.
Interesting. So it's superhuman speed by way of like what Nightcrawler might do, popping through places versus physically running.
Yeah,
I like that
that's
differentiation.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hey, now that I know about that sanctuary, I'm changing my answer from what who my mentor wants me to keep an eye on.
All right.
Okay.
So
anybody who has access to a weird nether portal, trust me, old Finn is going to want me to keep an eye on that.
That one he keeps staying in his nethers. You need to watch for him. Sorry, that's probably not going to be Finn's voice. That would be hard.
Hey, it can be if you want.
It can be if I
You
could
do
keep
what
it
you
up,
want.
but I'll fail. I will fail 4 sessions of that. I don't think I can keep it up. All right, awesome. Let's go back to Shadow. Yeah. So then that's good. That's good. We'll explore a couple of the other backstories as we go. So let's jump into relationships. You told someone all about your doom and the danger you're in. Who have you told?
I think obviously that was Impulse. Impulse is very careful with their identity, so I think that was her.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good. And you've got one last relationship. You'd love to kiss someone before your doom comes. Who's that?
I think that's Saika.
Cool.
So yeah, she's really cute.
These people matter for what you need to do. Give influence to 2 of your teammates.
Let's see. I think hashtag has influence over me.
I think that works. That works
Yeah.
really well because of the whole your shared history. I love that.
And I'd say Saika as well.
Awesome. Love it. Good work. All right, now we talk to our legacy. We already have some of this info. When did you officially become part of your legacy? Was this team part of your official coming out type thing?
No. I think officially I was probably like I'm 16 now, so like I imagine somewhere around 12 or 13 is like when my powers started to like come out, like via puberty type thing. Like that's when I started getting them.
Did she psychic with her mom?
No, because I think my mom wasn't actually like a super. I think it like skipped a generation. I think the legacy that I'm harkening back to is my grandmother Kitsune when she was younger. But now that like as she got older, she transitioned, like her name changed from the Kitsune to the Silver Fox. And I think she started grooming me as soon as I started to get power. So like I think it probably was something like it was probably my strength that came out first. Is like I just started breaking things with like my grip that I wasn't expecting to break. And like my mom's like, all right, you got to go talk to grandma.
Oh, that's cool. So it skipped a generation. That's
Yeah.
neat. That's not what I expected. That's cool though. I like it a lot. I think if you're okay with it, that, like there's a great grandfather who's a golden age, and his name was Usuri.
Sure.
He's the brown bear. So you have the grip like your great grandfather. And that,
Yeah. Perfect.
yeah. And no one talks about Tanuki. Okay, awesome. I love this. This is really good. You once got caught doing something that shames your legacy, and that was with hashtag. Perfect.
Yep.
You trust so and so and told them an important secret of your legacy.
I think it's probably going to be. There's so many good options.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like it'll be the Shadow with the Doomed. I think what I told them is that it's like our whole family line that like has the potential to get powers, but like oftentimes we like disown some of the family members who like don't do well with it. So like we have like branches that are like villains and things like that, but like they're not talked about. They get disowned, and like we're really aggressive about dealing with those family members, like if they start to go villainous.
Oh, that's delicious. That's so good. Thank you, Yoshi.
You're welcome.
This is why I don't need to prep, because I have folks like you in this game. Influence. You're part of this team for better or worse, and you care what they think. Give influence to all of your teammates.
Yep. Everybody has influence over me.
If you
We
have
have
influence.
influence? Okay.
I'm sorry?
So I just say I have influence over.
Yeah, you have influence. I have influence over, and you would
Okay.
put in Sika. Do you only have influence over Sika?
I think so.
Wow. That sucks.
No, I give you
Okay.
influence as well. You got influence over me.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Okay. Hashtag.
That's important because every move that targets someone you have influence over, you get a +1.
Okay.
Helping them also, if you wanted to do some kind of that's your team move, and you use team expenditure. Sorry, I misspoke. Okay, cool. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the when our team first came together, and then we will take a quick break and jump straight into some action. So when our team first came together, we saved. This is the Janice's question. You get to answer this, Mick. This is 100%. You take it where you would like it. You, of course, can check in with other player characters. When our team first came together, we saved the life of someone important either to the city or to us. Who was it, and why are they important?
But Rich, you said it was the Janice's question, but then you said my name. So
Mick answers it. Like, Mick, you, the player, get to answer this question. You save someone.
I'm not the Janice, though.
I'm a dumbass. I'm so sorry.
That's
I don't
okay.
know why I got that
I
mixed up.
just wanted.
No, thank you, Frazier. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's like player name, playbook, character name.
Yeah, there's a lot right now.
All right. So, Janice, Frazier, we saved the life of someone important either to the city or to the team. Who was it, and why are they important?
Maybe we saved. Could it be like a lot of people? Like maybe there was like a natural disaster in the area.
You can save a lot of people, but there's one person you're naming for me right now so that I can play them, because I can't play a lot of people all at once.
Okay, you play everybody in a natural disaster.
I know, but I want to have a voice for one person.
I think we saved the mayor's aide, Derek. Actually, let's go Dirk Gently, because I just watched that show and I liked it a lot. And he's the mayor's aide, so it got a lot of hashtag was all up in it, I guess, right?
Okay. And I think it's self-evident, just so I'm clear, why are they important? Why is Dirk important?
Yeah, I think because of their job title kind of thing.
A lot of
their
connections.
position in the government.
All right. Whew, let me make sure I get the playbooks right this time. Delinquent. Michael, we totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules did we break, and whose rules were they?
So we've got a couple people with ties to like older superheroes. So I think it'd be cool if there was like some kind of superhero code that we like kind of disregarded to win that fight. But I'm not 100% sure what that would be. Let me think for a second.
So an easy one that's probably for me is don't cause excessive collateral damage.
Maybe there was like, that makes sense to me. There was like a lot of collateral damage. Like, you know, we saved the people, but we like trashed, like, you know, maybe like a building like came down like in just the course of events. And there was like a lot of cleanup after that, and like a lot of property damage basically. And we saved the lives, so I think I got off the hook, but there, you know, it wasn't exactly a clean win there.
Okay, how about this? How about the Hall of the Silver Saviors?
Okay.
The museum, and also it's a museum to the Silver Saviors, of which certain grandmother was a founding member.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Love it. So yeah, you guys destroyed like the front facing and the lobby and the gift shop. Like all that got trashed.
It's so many people.
So many people.
I got started talking to afterwards.
I love it. I love it. Doomed, Stephen. We paid a high cost for victory. What was it?
So I think in this case there were civilians that died. I think that whenever hashtag was shooting this, we saw all the civilians on the street. They survived. Everything was great, but there were civilians in the alley that, you know, part of the building came down on, and they didn't survive. But no one really paid attention to that.
Were these all indigent?
Something like that. Yeah, people who are in the back alley, not necessarily counted. Yeah.
God, that ties so well to the shadow, man. That's really good. Dang. Oh,
What is the shadow playbook? Like, what is its thing? What's its jam?
The
Doomed.
Yeah,
Doomed. So basically, the way that the Doomed playbook works is that if I get a choice of several different items, I chose overexerting myself and innocents getting hurt. If those things happen, I mark my Doom track. Once I get up to 5 ticks on my Doom track, sort of like XP, then I mark a Doom sign, and the Doom signs give me powers, but every time I use them, they mark the Doom track as well, and where I get 5 of those powers, my Doom comes and consumes me. It does. Yeah.
Snap.
Yeah. All things considered, Legacy, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it?
So definitely not my grandmother, because she's ticked off. We destroyed the hall. So I think, do you want somebody new, or do we want to?
Yeah, let's do somebody new.
Okay. So
because this will be someone that bar none thinks you guys are great.
Right. Let's. I don't know of a good name, but let's like go with like a very like prototypical like Superman style hero who is sort of like one-dimensional, is very much like the face and the savior of like the city. Like they try to like, they're very strong, nigh indestructible, probably can fly, but like they're all about like being very showy and living in the celebrity of this, like of the celebrity age. Like they're definitely like the face of like trying to make a big deal about saving things.
So-
May I offer the name Magnificent Man to cover that archetype?
Okay.
I don't think he realizes how like bad his name is.
Pamela and John Alexander will now love what we're doing.
Okay. Cool. I gotta sneeze on. That was a really long lead up to a pretty quick sneeze. Sorry about that. Okay. And then last but not least, Mick the protege. Mick playing the protege.
That's me.
We stuck together after all was said and done. Why and how do we keep in contact?
Because one, I have offered the pretty nifty hangout that Senior Finn. That's what I'm going to call him all the time, Senior Finn. Maybe not to his face, but when I'm referring to him in front of other people, I'll call him Senior Finn. He gave me a place to hang out, and I've invited the rest of you guys to be a part of that. And also, we straight up have some pretty nice little gizmo gadget communicators that he also footed the bill for. So each of us has one of those where we can pretty much contact each other whenever we need to.
Nice.
Either during operations or when we need to form up and get together for whatever reason. I keep hitting my ear like one of those earbud things, but
So just one question on that, just so I'm clear. So Senior Finn, he provided you guys with the hangout, hideout, the HQ type deal. Where did he get? Did he just have money that he saved up from his superheroing days, or does he have some kind of endorsement deal that he still keeps up? Or
no, I would say it's from his contacts and connections, and probably some money that he saved up.
okay, cool.
I don't know that if he would have been big into this, he would have been one of those grumpy, I don't want to deal with this celebrity culture crap.
Perfect.
Type
Just
heroes.
trying to make sure I'm clear.
He would have been
wealthy?
then, and he certainly is now.
Okay.
Is he? Well, you're relatively wealthy, I guess. He's not like Bruce Wayne. In the civilian, he's not a Bruce Wayne in that sense. He's maybe a Bruce Wayne-ish in attitude and demeanor.
Sure.
But I would still say that he has enough money and had enough connections to be able to get us a place in Halcyon City that we could use as a decent lair that would be relatively secure, but also something that we could... I mean, it's not a secret hideout underneath a mountain, if that's what you...
Well,
But
it probably
like-
isn't very secret because hashtag's been invited there.
Well, that's a good point.
I'm trying to get permission to install cameras so we can start a reality show, but
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Yeah, so, but yeah, like that. Something that would be relatively secure and secret were it not for hashtag.
Nice. That's great. This delinquent is just so perfect. It's so good. Awesome. We're going to take...
And also, Yoshi, would it be all right with you if, like, some of the resources of your family... Like since we're sort of suggesting that
silent
your
partners,
family-
are they?
that
Yeah.
they're sort of like both of them sort of trying to mentor / fund and support our new team. Some of
Perfect.
that
Yeah.
probably would have come from them too.
Yeah, that works for me.
So ship there between Senior Finn and maybe the Silver Fox or other members of your legacy group.
Oh, there's like a double silver thing I just realized. So former silver arm, now silver fox. A lot of silver going on.
A lot of silver, and of course, argent means silver, and so
I totally didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know.
like Argentina, it's the Spanish and French. It's the Latin root word for silver,
Huh.
which is why on the elemental table, silver is AR.
This is all new information to me, and I'm embarrassed that I don't know this.
Well, now it
Everyone
makes
else
more.
does.
Now my choice of the word argent makes more sense, right?
It does. It does. It seemed kind of rando, but now I get it.
Yeah,
And
it's not. And then since I've been young, that wolf up there that maybe you can see in the back, that his name is
Yep.
Argent.
Aw.
That wolf.
So one last thing before we take our break, Michael had thrown in chat the suggestion that the layer, something about the layer scrambles his camera and smartphone. Is that what you guys want? Like, quote
Would
unquote,
be-
privacy?
It would make sense because I mean, if the old
Sure.
man like hates hates the whole media angle, like maybe he installed that recently. Like that was like the condition. Like I can hang out there, but like he's like installing like some equipment that's just gonna scramble like any camera or like smartphone technology.
I actually
Yeah.
kind of like the conflict going on where maybe it's just yours.
What if whenever I show up, he makes me hand in my smartphone?
Well, I mean, that would assume that he would have to be there. I like the idea that he is electronically set it up to scramble, because what this could be, if you wanted it to be, would be this little side thing between Senior Finn and hashtag, where you keep trying to subvert, and he keeps bumping it up again, and then neither one of you directly addresses it and gets in each other's face, and he doesn't come up to you and say, "You shall stop this, or I will punch you through." But it's like, okay, kid, fine. It's like maybe this is one of the few joys he has left in life, since he's so sad about
thwarting
losing his dog.
hashtags attempts to broadcast. That is good. Cool. So then, like, all of your access to the web is all hardline stuff. If you got a laptop, you got to basically Cat5 it in and all that good stuff because there's no Wi-Fi whatsoever in the place. I like that.
Right. That sounds good.
Cool. Let's take a 5 to 7 minute break, and then we're gonna jump straight into something and have some fun with the rest of our hour and a half. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Nice. And we're back.
We are returned. I really want to know what Michael has. Who Michael has his arm. Michael, who do you have your arm around in your little avatar photo there?
Oh, that's a statue of Pablo Neruda.
I do not know who that is.
He was a poet, Chilean poet.
Oh,
I
cool.
went to his he's got three, like, he was like a huge collector, and he has like three really amazing houses in like Chile, and that statue's right by one of them. But he has like a lot of like he collected a lot of stuff like the figureheads from the front of ships. Like he has like a whole room filled with just like, you know, a dozen of those, like some of them like 8 feet tall. He's got it's a neat place to go, and I'm a big fan of his poetry as well.
That's
And it's a
awesome.
good picture of me. That's the main reason I use it.
I don't know, man. I think you'd take a nice photo. I wouldn't. I'm sure there are lots of choices. Okay. God, this layer is so exciting to me. I want to explore that a little bit as we jump into this. So it's the middle of the week. Now, it would be after school, right? We have two 16-year-olds for sure. Hashtag is hashtag like 16, 17?
I'll say 16, yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, cool. And then how old is Tyrell?
Let's say he's a senior. He's 17.
Oh,
He's a young senior.
Nice. And then last but not least, Finn. This current Finn is how old were you saying?
Well, we could say he's 17.
Okay, so senior too?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's say that you guys are arriving at your HQ after school. So how is it that Mr. Clover Impulse arrives at your lair / HQ / hangout?
Well, how does everybody else get there?
Okay, we'll come back to you. You're a speedster. You can show up late.
Yeah.
How does hashtag arrive on the scene?
I'm just gonna take the subway and walk over like a normal, regular old person.
Nice.
And buzz in at the gate and say, "Hey, hashtag here."
Cool. Now, because this is default the protege's lair, is this downtown? Is this out in an office park somewhere? Is it?
Yeah, we're playing. I mean, we're playing in Halcyon City, right?
Yes.
We're not in Gauntlet. Okay.
We're not.
Okay. So I kind of envision it like not a particularly run-down warehouse district, but I like the idea of this being like a fitted warehouse, like a big room with a giant tall, so, but I don't want it to be like down by the docks, all run down and decrepit, but kind of like so maybe sort of like an industrial park / office park.
Okay.
That have a big, yeah. But I also like the idea of it being downtown in the sense of being surrounded by a lot of the skyscrapers, or at least being pretty close to them.
Cool. So there's not a whole lot of residential here, but it's still on the grid and not far from the subway. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I have some pictures. I'm imagining like this warehouse, maybe it's older style, so it's not just a big boring thing of concrete. It's a lot of exposed brick, right?
Brick, yes, I like that. Mm-hmm.
There's a couple cool warehouses that I like to go party at nearby, kind of in the neighborhood.
Yeah, is this a former club? Is not far from here. The club where you go in all the time. Hashtag with your crazy illusory powers. I love it.
Oh, I definitely like the idea that this has become a sort of a gentrified thing where, in addition to the lair being in a warehouse, there's a club that somebody has put in a warehouse. Yes, this is like maybe becoming sort of this hipster gentrified.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I like that. And you know that Signor Cooley, older Finn, is pissed about that because it's just
he's not happy about it.
everything.
Maybe it used to be like when he first moved in there, like a rundown like warehouse like neighborhood, but like now all of that's like completely changed.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
It's
and hey,
centrally
Rich,
located, and there's no one around to bother you. No worries about secret identity. And now there's a club.
yeah, yeah. So, hey, Rich.
Yeah.
Just for what it's worth, you said Senior Cooley a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And no, that's fine. I mean, that wasn't. I mean, I just wanted to say Senior Cooley, like as in senior. So I'm not saying Senior, right?
Oh, senior? You're saying senior, or you're saying senior?
No, I'm not saying senior. I'm saying senior, like in
Oh, I heard
senior citizen or yeah. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, not senior. Senior. We could just call him. We could just call him Old Finn. Let's call him Old Finn.
I think Old Finn has a better ring to it, so I'll go with Old Finn.
He won't like it, but we'll call him Old Finn.
Behind his back, you call him Old Finn. It's good. It's good.
It's okay. Behind my back, he probably calls me Baby Finn.
Sure, if he's generous. So, young Finn, how do you arrive?
I arrive. I think, yeah, probably, take the subway or whatever. Sort of keep it chill, mundane.
Oh, I'm okay. In
There's
this
probably
sector,
like a train.
Yeah. No, we did subway.
Goes from
It's
school to
elevated train. Like at this section, the subway actually comes up to an elevated train type deal. Because I just love the idea of you guys walking under the shadows of the train trellis kind of thing. Do Finn and hashtag like arrive together then?
Sure.
Okay, cool. You both took the subway.
Train, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Yeah, you guys were on the subway. Say that maybe there was a moment because I don't know if this was necessarily near where you end up going to high school. So maybe you have like a 30-minute ride start to finish. You get to traverse a good bit of Halcyon City. And there were a couple of flyers that you saw, flyers as in superheroic members who flew flyovers, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just not flyers as in advertisements for another thing on paper. So then let's see how Tyrell, when you get out of high school, do you just like port over, or how do you do this?
So I think basically Tyrell appears in the lair by stepping out of shadow.
Nice.
There's a corner where he just steps out of. He steps into one, probably away from school, and comes out in the lair.
Sweet. Yeah, you step into the lair from the shadows. We do a hard cut to a member of Sika's family, like their corporation, who's quickly tapping on keyboards and trying to get measurements of that shadow in an attempt to understand it. And then so when you come into early, like this is your normal thing, Tyrell? Like you show up early. What do you do before everybody else arrives?
Basically at this point, so while everybody else is commuting, I leave the school and I'd probably hit some more seedy parts of town, talking to maybe a few guys I used to know back in the hood, and they treat me different now. And whenever my time's up, I'm trying to build up those connections that don't really exist anymore. And then that's whenever I duck into an alley and step through one shadow into another.
Oh, there are a couple.
Into the lair.
I love it. There are a couple of indigents who are in this neighborhood who still just kind of squat. Different buildings, the pickings getting lesser and lesser as this place becomes more and more gentrified. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, then how does Sika arrive?
So I totally think Sika has a motorcycle, like a crotch rocket motorcycle, that is sort of like all like brown with like white spots, so it looks like the spotted deer type thing. But the helmet that I have has antlers on it.
Yes.
And so like as I'm like leaning over on the crotch rocket, like like my head is the deer's head, like with the antlers and so on that go on it. And so I think that's how I arrive.
Oh man. So you've like cutified maybe like an Akira
Oh,
cycle
yeah.
that kind of like bends up and then slides down. Oh, and so you
Uh-huh.
just literally pair just inches above the ground kind of. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Oh man, do you try to time? Do you just go, or do you tool around the city? Because you know that half the guys aren't going to show up for another 30 minutes. You,
Oh, yeah. Since I know that I'm gonna beat half the people there, I go and get like probably like boba tea and like go shopping and like get like stickers and things like that. Like maybe get like a like you know those phone like keychain like dangles like ornament things. Like I probably like go and like buy one of those. Like that's what I do is I like go and buy like the like cute little things and like stuff like that.
that is great. That is great. So yeah, then we have both Argent and hashtag walking underneath the shadows, and then we hear the of your amazing deer mobile there as you pull up. Do you park on the street, or is there a place in the lair that you pull in? Because you helped with some of the retrofitting design.
Yeah, so I think there's definitely a place for the bike in like inside at least the gated area. Like, and it's probably it's not necessarily like totally closed off, but there's at least a roof, so when it's raining, like there like I can get off or keep the bike not from being
It's
wet.
cute. It's a nice little carport kind of area.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, love it. Love it. Sweet. And now, last but not least, and probably not last because he's a speedster, we have Impulse. So how did you have track meet or something? Is that a thing?
I think I tried to get like a quick nap in, and when the camera like focuses on me, I'm like slick with sweat because I have like that nightmare about that person dying where I was like watching it again. And what wakes me up is the sound of the alarm going off. So we hear that. And then the theme song for him is like "Don't Let Me Down" by the Chainsmokers. So that starts playing. And then he goes about getting ready, like he's suddenly in the shower and like cleaning himself real quick. And then he's like brushing his teeth, looking bored, and then suddenly like he's in his costume, and then like 5 seconds later or whatever, he's in the lair and sort of just like looking around like he was never late at all.
Oh man, cool. So this nightmare is about someone that the lawman lost in his
Yeah, I think he
showdown.
like watched it on TV, and he every time he like goes to sleep, he always sees that in his mind's eye kind of thing as a fear for him.
Love it. I think that then is going to be trying to find a villain. Sorry,
And
Rampage.
I like the idea of he doesn't have he hasn't figured out what shoes to wear yet, so he's like, oh man, my parents are gonna kill me, and he like shows his Vans and they're all like worn out again because they're like brand new or whatever, but the bottoms are all frayed and messed up because he was running on them and they got messed up and they were like a day old or something only.
Oh, that's funny. I love it. I love it. He's always walking around barefoot because he just runs through his shoes.
Yeah, he needs some super shoes or something.
Okay, so the person that hurt lawgiver or lawman who killed his, we'll go with sister. We're going to make it nice and tight and close so that it makes perfect sense that your secret identity is going to be Solace, Solace. If anyone has the deck of villainy, it's one of the members of that. Solace has the ability to absorb vitality and intense emotion at a touch.
Oh.
They have superhuman speed and strength and emotional vampirism. So that is Solace. That is the
That's
person
scary.
yeah. Just making sure you know all of those details. It could be important later.
Okay.
The picture for Solace I will now show you because it's great. And then we're going to jump back to the player characters. That's what Solace looks like. Look at how emo that person is. I
Oh,
love it.
wow.
Yeah. Who doesn't love Solace?
The deck only exists for people who got one in the Kickstarter, right? There's no way to get it otherwise, is there?
I'm sure at some point they'll reprint, but I didn't get the physical. I didn't pay for the physical. I have the PDF of the deck.
Okay. I sure would love to have a PDF of the deck.
Talk to Magpie, see if they'll sell it. Put it
I
up
will.
on drive-through.
I will do that.
Should, because it's super helpful. Okay. So, yeah, Legacy, you show up. Is this a hangout spot? Are you guys... I'll ask Sika, when you arrive, what is your plan? Do you guys have a meeting that's scheduled, or is this generally where you guys hang out?
I think that we all have our own lives, but like I think we have like almost like a weekly like meeting where we're just like getting like it's a touch base, like, hey, let's make sure things are going down, especially since a lot of us are relatively new. It's like, what have you been doing? Like, what are the problems? Like we're working through this thing, like being part of a team and making sure that like if people have leads, we can chase them down and do things like that. So I think it's like sort of hangouty, but like only because we're here fairly often, like once a week type thing. Like,
oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Do you guys ever?
I actually live on the second floor.
Okay, I love it. Love it. It's perfect. You guys ever do
that's my
training?
house.
You guys
So
ever
I'm like an
train?
independent miner or whatever.
You're an independent miner? Yeah, sure you are.
Well, I mean, I'm 17, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, I don't have any parents. Everybody I knew lived 20 years ago. So, and I was an orphan even 20 years ago. So it's not like there's
an orphan PC? I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, you know, whatever. I know it's tropey, but
you live upstairs. I adore that. Do you guys ever do training missions, like training montages? Is this a thing? Who suggests it?
I do.
You know, we all do the training missions, but I do the montages afterwards. Yeah.
Do you do like confessional style since you can't record it while it's happening?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Yes.
Do you ever? Is this a thing where you just talk, or do you enact some of the moves? Like, how animated is Mark Ryman when he's?
So I definitely will be like kind of like you know showing like some of the different moves when I'm sort of like doing my broadcast. Basically, I don't know how for the other guys, it's really how willing they are to go along with what I'm doing.
Have you ever interviewed any of the? Oh, you've convinced at least one member of the team for an interview.
Yeah.
Which it's gotten a ton of hits. Like it still gets hits. It's evergreen. Who is it that you cajoled into an interview?
Who is it that I interviewed? I am going to say that was the Argent, the protege.
Nice.
That does make sense to me. I think I kind of like you. So, and just as a kind of a shorthand, as far as how the team works and the training and all, I sort of see myself like as the Robin, the Young Justice, probably season 1 Young Justice Robin here. So,
okay,
like
way better than the Teen Titans Go, Robin. Good job.
Oh
Good
God,
call.
yes. But yeah, sort of like, yes, we do need to train. He takes it seriously because his mentor makes him take it seriously. But he's also kind of a laid back, not harsh type personality. So
cool. It's training day.
Yeah.
Just for fun. It's training day. You guys go outside? Do you go up onto the roof? Do you have a training room?
I like outside of the roof because I can tape there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I think it would be cool to be on a roof But then the first thing that pops into my head is, but then some schmo in a building could film our training regimen
Some
and
schmo
know
like
how
that.
to beat us. No, I mean like some villain or something. If we trained out in the open, people would be able to see what we do and how to counter it, right? It'd be like watching film of the opposing team.
Maybe
then
for like
there's- oh.
maybe for like tactical stuff, we like go indoors. But if it's just kind of the practice that like we kind of figure that they're going to know about, anyway, basic stuff. I want it on tape, so
That makes sense.
Nice. Okay, so let's say that the indoor.
And you have to be on the roof to get a signal.
yeah.
Yep. He's got his own plan. You guys, we'll say that it's like Wednesday afternoon, and you're supposed to have cleared your schedules to have the team meeting. It's training day, and everybody arrives. You're having coffee, boba tea. You're watching the one plasma, like huge 60-inch plasma TV that's showing the, like, how there's E Entertainment, right? There's one where they've like made up a symbol that is supposed to be for Supers, and that is the Supers channel.
Man.
It's broadcast live from Halcyon, and it's on in the background.
Cape TV. Cape TV.
Cape TV. That's it. Cape Network. I love that. It's like a C with like a cape coming off of it.
I imagine there's got to be commercials for a costumer, and there's the tagline is "No capes."
Oh.
Yeah.
And I just love that character so much. Okay. Door opens up, and in walks Old Finn, and you see that walking behind him is well, I'm not sure if everyone really knows their Super's history, but the Snapping Turtle, who was a villain, the last that you'd heard but haven't heard from, like if anyone follows, I'm not sure if you even heard of the Snapping Turtle hashtag, to be honest, because it has been decades since she was active. I guess I'll just have to turn that and then turn it back on to get this to work again. All right, there we go. Yay, camera fix. She walks in. The ground thuds a little bit, and you could hear the gears working. And Old Finn says, "Training day. You guys head down to the room. I've got you a live opponent today. Snapping Turtle." And then he guides her back towards the industrial strength elevator because she weighs a ton, literally.
Wow.
I look at Old Finn and I want to say, it's like, can I hit her as hard as I can? Like, is her armor going to hold up?
Hi. Don't worry. You don't have to hold back on Snapping Turtle.
Okay.
So you guys come down into, I imagine it's like one of the sub basements. So tons of concrete, that sound from the lights when they all pop on, pop, 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 pop. And there are painted lines, like stripes and dotted lines and the like, for different kinds of maneuvers. And we'll say there's a few things, like there's a car, but it's obviously like been, I mean, it's got concrete in it. None of the glass is out. It's just a training car. It's a tossable car. And there are a couple of other implements that look like a street, right? So you have some other things that you can use. And I just love the idea of there being like an operating theater type deal. So
Yeah.
you have Old Finn who like walks and he sits down at a little console and he leans forward to click the button for the mic to come on. And he says, "All right, all you have to do is take down the Snapping Turtle. Don't blow it." And they click the button again. And Snapping Turtle comes out of the industrial elevator.
I love this image.
Thank
Okay.
you. I love Snapping Turtle. I think it's like my favorite of the deck of villains. So when she talks, like the mouth doesn't move, but you know that the speaker's inside the mouth. And she says, "Okay, kids, bring it."
So just okay. So this is the consciousness of a person, a woman, inside. Is it a robot body or is it a giant turtle?
It is a robot body in the form of, like, it's got
Of
turtle.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought I saw in the description when you had it up. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
No, it's a good question. Good question. I want you guys to have that idea. So imagine an automaton type turtle, and Ilsa's been stuck in it for decades. She at this point she really wants to upgrade, and so
I
she
bet.
does jobs for money, but she's out of the villaining game. Although she knows all the tricks.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Is she going to be still out of the villaining game when she upgrades her game?
She has not discussed that with others. She just wants to upgrade her body.
I would love to discuss that with her on in an interview.
I bet you would.
I mean, the nice thing is that she doesn't have a moving mouth, so I can make her say whatever I want.
Let's get the voice right. Oh man, yeah. So Ilsa actually, she was the pilot of this robotic suit. It was designed by a secret organization known as Venom, and nobody's done the backronym on that to figure out what it stands for, but it's not good. And she died. She died of cancer quite a while ago, but her mind lived on. And so, yep. Yeah. So you guys just been thrown into a training mission fight. I am curious what our speedster named Impulse might do first.
I think he doesn't take it seriously at first. He's like, "Are you serious?" There's like a big snapping turtle in front of me. And I'm like, I look at the legacy and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you could go stag for this one. And you've got heart. But I think during the fight, what I want to do is like, as people are fighting, I want to help them by like, if they're about to miss or whatever, I like just go into speedster mode and readjust their arm so that it does hit them. Or like if they're about to get punched, I just move them a little bit aside because I'm like freaked out that someone else is going to get hurt.
Who is the team leader? We're now going to go into some team mechanics. Start of every session, I add a team to the pool. You now have one team to the pool. Whoever we decide is the team leader, and that can change. It can change by fight or purpose. But we do need to determine that. Who is the team leader here?
I feel like it's either going to be me or Argent.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We want them to have influence over people, right?
Yeah, so I
That
have
does make
influence over
sense,
everyone.
but yes, that's true. I think that Sika is the team leader. I like that idea. I also like the idea, borrowing from Young Justice, that people would say that my character would be the logical choice, and I keep saying not the logical choice. That was one of the themes that I want to explore too, is I don't care what you think. I don't actually want to be the team leader.
Okay, if the leader has influence over every teammate, you add another team. So that's the set. And you get to add 2 to the team pool. So we're now to 3 to 4 because the leader has influence over every teammate. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. I'm sorry, but the legacy does not seem to have the same purpose. I mean, maybe because they are going to help, but it just seemed like not a whole lot of like we're going to train. It's just more like I don't know. What do you think their impulse?
Yeah, I think at this point, until this villain becomes real, I think it's a joke.
Okay, so entering in, when you enter the battle, you're not necessarily bought in. That's perfectly fine. If any team member mistrusts the leader of the team, anybody mistrust Sika?
Nope, I don't think so.
If your team is ill prepared or off balance, remove a team. I don't think you're necessarily ill prepared. You were told it's training day. You're now going to train by fighting someone.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So that means that you have a total of 1 + 2 + 1, 4 team.
Team.
keep track of that team leader, Sika. You can keep track of it in your character keeper, or if you want to use, yep, I see you've got that.
The counter.
Yep, the counter. Enjoy it while you can. It goes away as of April 25th. Okay. That's everything goes away because of Google. Sweet. So you guys are forming up. Snapping Turtle opens up her hand and she douses a gout of flame on the shadow. It just little nozzle comes out. This huge flamethrower comes out and douses you, Shadow. What do you do?
I think that you hear a ruffle of the cloak, and then I'm somewhere else. So it goes off into midair.
Awesome. Yeah, no roll. That's exactly what happens. You pop out, and you hear, and then the flame doesn't stop, and she just keeps the hand and is kind of blazing towards you. Go. Who's ahead towards next? Hashtag, you think? Maybe?
Actually, I think that I keep running, not teleporting ahead of it, so that she can kind of keep that arc. So I'm a distraction for everyone else to do their thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. I love that. It's a perfect setup to use some team to help somebody out. Who wants to step into this?
I'll go for it.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to act a little selfishly and try to end this thing like right now and just sort of take it out, because this thing's got armor all over it. But hello, I don't know if that protects against psychic attacks or not. My guess is no. So I think I could just shut this thing down by just like boom, just like psychic, jab to basically floor her and incapacitate her.
Awesome. So you have like a psychic knife type thing? Like
no, I don't think there's like a knife or anything. It's just like a, maybe there's like a bit of a gesture, like almost like a slight like karate chop, but not really, that just sort of like projects that. Like there's, some gesture, basically like a hand move.
What do we see on the page? Like, is it just like there's some weird almost series of lines that come out?
On the page, we see this purple but like somewhat transparent, like sort of gush of psychic energy, I guess.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, so you're trying to overcome an
one second, I gotta get up. 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about my character a little bit.
I think you should talk about your character.
So one of my abilities is magic weaponry, and I think I've been trying to think of how that takes, and I think I like the idea of like just like nature and stuff growing, like not like poison ivy plant control, but like sort of along those lines a little bit. I was like stealing something from our Monster Hearts game, Frazier, where like the flowers, like when you step, like the flowers come from where you step type thing. But like I imagine like maybe like having like it's just something that I'm trying to control more, but like I can like grab things and like vines like start like ivy wraps around it or things like that type thing, or I cause something else to grow faster than it should type thing.
I have this beautiful picture of Psycha punching someone, and instead of the pow, little flower petals comes out.
Oh, it's totally flower petals. That's exactly where this is going.
My Lord, that is insane. I muted you, Michael. I thought maybe you were going to have a phone conversation. I didn't.
No, I just had to let someone in for a package.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It sounded like a phone call, so I wasn't sure. Awesome. So yeah, you say you wanted to stick your nose in that. You decided to do a psychic attack against the snapping turtle. So I think that what you're doing then is you're trying to directly engage a threat, right? Because you're trying to take her down. Right, so
yeah, that makes sense to me.
Let's do that. So roll plus danger.
All right, that is boxcars.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, on a 10 plus, you pick 2 of the options below.
All right, let's see. Directly engage, resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. I'm going to impress, surprise, or frighten them, and I'll create an opportunity for my allies as well, because she's going to be momentarily stunned by this attack.
Sweet. So you release this psychic force to try to affect her, and it knocks her back a couple steps,
Yeah.
which for someone that's like it's significant, right? And she stops, the flame like dies, and she looks at you. Interesting. And yeah, that impressed her, and now you are priority one, right? So she drops down and grabs a piece of she basically grabs into the concrete and starts moving forward towards you.
I wish I could get footage of this.
Yeah. She's got like this turtle back thing, and there's these wicked spikes. But yeah, I think she's going to. She moves faster than you anticipated, and she's going to just try to bum rush you. Anyone doing anything about that?
Yeah, so I kind of want to come in. Like, I think you mentioned there was a car that's there. That car is conveniently going to get picked up and hurled like at her, like in between the snapping turtle and hashtag. So it's sort of like there's this giant flying object that, like, yeah, that person might be a problem, but you're still going to have to deal with flying cars and other things that are coming along. And I think what I want to do is like throw the car as like not as to hit her, but as a like pay attention to this, and then as the car goes out of the view, like be chasing behind the car to just like come up and hit her.
It sounds like you're defending your friend hashtag here. So when you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, roll plus savior.
Oh yeah, I got a 12.
Nice. Wow. Oh, dice stream, go away faster. All right. So on hit, you keep them safe. For PC threat, on a hit, you give. Oh, that's when someone's threatening you. So, for an NPC threat, on a hit, you keep them safe. Choose one. On a 7 or 9, it costs you. So, do you want to add a team to the pool, take influence from over someone you protect, or clear a condition? There are no conditions right now.
Yeah, and I've got
add a team to the pool, or if you take influence over hashtag, because you already have influence, you then can move around his labels. So, which is kind of amusing since you guys are.
Let's do that. Let's take influence over hashtag and move around their labels. So, I think I'm going to choose to make hashtag. I'm going to raise their danger and lower their mundane. Does that work?
Okay, the danger goes up to 1 and mundane drops down to 0. Hey, I'm glad you said that, Yoshi. I want to just circle back around because I've made some assumptions that I want to clarify. And that would be gender pronouns for your characters. So for Impulse, what gender pronouns should we use?
He, him.
Okay, cool. For hashtag, what pronouns should we use?
Just he, him's fine.
Okay, cool. And then Argent?
He, him.
Tyrell?
He, him. Yeah.
I don't know why I always say Tyrell instead of Shadow. Shadow, and then last but not least, Sika.
She, her.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Just want to clear that out. Oh, okay. So you have defended and you decide to gain influence, which allows you to shift labels, which I think is awesome. I love that. So what happens? You throw that car, and then we see around the car there are just a couple of nascent vines, right? She tears through it, right? Just mashes through the thing. A couple, let's say like there's the side view mirror like bounces off of one of her spikes kind of thing, and that's what the artist it's all cool 3D with a little bit of computer painting. And then you wanted to interpose yourself, so you're able to defend her. She tackles into you then, Sika, and she's gonna these jet boots up, and you guys start flying up like 15 feet up in the ground. She's gonna head towards a building. Does anybody want to do anything about that?
Sure.
She's flying.
So
Go ahead, Shadow. Because you were already kind of trailing and were set up for it. So what did Shadow want to do?
So whenever the flame came off, you see that kind of die down in an earlier panel, and basically then she engages with the snapping turtle engages with Sika, and you see her start to fly up, and you see the cloak kind of ripple and appear on the back of the snapping turtle as it flies up, and I'm going to start draining power from the suit. Vitality absorption.
Oh,
So I think that's
nice.
using powers.
Yeah, I think you're
Is that
unleashing
right?
your powers. Roll plus freak. I think that makes perfect sense. So that's a +2 for you. You're really good at this. Here comes another 12.
So that's a 9, I
It's a
think.
9.
Yeah.
Anyone want to help with this to push that up to a 10?
I'll totally help if I can, like, because like the snapping turtle has me, like, and I like maybe I see the shadows like cloak before the snapping turtle realizes that there's somebody on their back, and so like I'm just like probably like not like slapping, but like hitting the snapping turtle, like, because they're holding me like in the face and things like that, to like basically make sure I'm still the threat that they're dealing with, and not looking at the person on their back.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, so then with a 10, what that means is the unleash of powers is not, you don't have to mark a condition. It's not unstable or temporary. So you start to drain, and the jet boog's like, and then she becomes inert for a moment. She's going to have to drop to secondary systems. And you guys just drop 15 feet to the ground. Boom! This huge crack in the pavement. The building, like the fake building in here, because it's only like the frontage of a building, it cracks a little bit. And there's some candy glass, like because glass has to happen. And she lays there for a moment, inert. And that's when you hear over the loudspeakers, old Finn is like, Argent, anytime now that you'd like to do the actual training that we've set up for you would be nice. Instead of standing there with your thumb up your arse.
All right.
And
yes.
he's telling you that you need to be superior to these guys. That's why he's telling you need to be superior. You need to be taking charge of running this team, even though that's not what you want. You're gonna do anything about that?
Well, I mean, is he making a...
Yes, he is. When someone with influence tells you who you are, how the world works, accept that or reject their influence. So you accept, I get to adjust your labels. If you want to reject their influence, you just roll flat.
No, yeah, I'm going to accept his influence in this case because I was about to do a thing anyway. But yeah, let's...
Rich, what do you mean? Awesome. So he's going to move up your superior to 3. And he's going to drop your mundane to a -1.
Okay. Which actually is great because I've been reading the files and what is up with the dice?
What did you just do? Like, you roll dice, but I don't understand what's going on.
I've been reading the files.
Oh, is that
I rolled my superior and got a 15 to get, I know one very important thing about the snapping turtle that I can now shout out to my teammates so that we may
I love
deal
it.
with the situation.
Here we go. Snapping turtle. Snapping. Anything she gets in her jaws, the tensile strength, her ability, she can bite through adamantium with those jaws. You do not want anything to be in her mouth.
Okay. Sika, stay out of her mouth. Stay away from the jaws.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's snapping jaws. So you're saying that, and so there's this moment where she's inert. She's fallen on the ground. Sika, you rolled away. You're fine. And then you hear like I can't do it, and I wish I had the sound file, but like you hear the Apple boot sound, and she starts moving again. All right, so there we go.
I think do you get a follow-up question as well? Because that was a 10 plus.
Do you?
Oh, let's see. On a hit, tell the team one important But why did it slide?
Ask the GM a follow-up question. They will answer it honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Nice catch.
That is a nice catch.
I want our follow-up question.
The follow-up question is, would Snapping Turtle be holding back with her snapping jaw thing?
Or would she actually snap somebody? Do you think
would she snap somebody in half and kill them? I mean, well, that's a stupid question because it's training and we have to assume that she would not. But we're also supposed to be behaving like it's the real deal. So, hey, has old Finn set this up with some kind of... There's something going on here more than what's obvious. So, gosh, how to ask this question so to get information. Okay, all right. Here we go. This is the way I'll ask the question. So we know that is Snapping Turtle's particular strength. What's her particular weakness?
Ah, okay. So that's what you want. You want to know about her weakness. Yeah, her weakness right now is money. Like she will do pretty much anything for money. Not that that's immediately going to benefit you here, but she really, and money to get a new body. Because there are aspects of her body that are just starting to break down and she can't go anywhere because she weighs a ton. You can't go to the mall or a bodega
Wow.
when you are a behemoth monstrosity.
She's banned from all the second floors of every building. Like she's not allowed to go there.
It sucks. That's her main weakness, is that she weighs a literal ton and cannot maneuver in normal society. And she'll do pretty much anything to get herself a new and different body.
Okay.
Including get beat up on by some young heroes. It's a hard knock life.
Yes, it is.
Is that satisfactory?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So you yell out, don't let her snap, stay away from her mouth. And her head kind of rotates up. And yeah, I think she starts standing up, right? She's gonna nice shot, hashtag.
Can I go really fast and start trying to like dismantle her legs or something like that? Like pull them off?
Totally. That sounds like you're directly engaging her as she stands up, gonna try to take her leg out. That sounds great. Do it. Directly engage a threat. Roll plus danger.
Danger is... It's probably 0. Yeah.
Your danger is flat. It is a 0.
Okay, let's go for another 12. Oh, but it's a 5.
Yes.
You can use something from the team pool selfishly, and then you can get +2, which make that mediocre. So if you go look at the team pool, team mechanics.
Team pool.
So team members can also spend team to act selfishly. When you act selfishly, say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates. Remove one from the team pool. Oh no, never mind.
That's the delinquent. I didn't think he did a +2. Yeah.
No, I could help her, and I've got a move that means the first time I help a teammate, I get to take. Oh no, wait. No, it doesn't. Not what I thought it was. No.
I think I just have potential.
Just have potential. Yep. You get potential. That's the best.
That's the best. Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, you reach down to her leg. You actually pull a couple of the bolts, but she backhands you she is basically sort of this like pistons fire backhand, and there are a couple spikes on it. It clocks you in the side of the head. You end up like rolling across the fake street and slamming into a fire hydrant, and it hurts, man. I'm going to say you take on a condition. You can tell me if it's a thing where you just got pantsed and you're a little bit angry about that, or if the fact that hurt as bad as it did, if it might make you afraid or hopeless.
Afraid, I think.
Nice. Cool. So if you want to put an X there under afraid, then what that'll do is that means that you get a -2 whenever you want to directly engage a threat until you clear that condition.
Am I to clear it? I run away.
Yes. To clear it, you need to run away from a thing,
Or you can get somebody else to comfort you.
That's right. Comfort or support will also remove that.
Should he take a powerful blow?
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I missed that
It
step.
seems powerful.
Yes, let's roll back. This condition doesn't take. You need to take a powerful blow, roll plus condition. So go ahead and make a roll.
It's just flat or
Yeah,
roll.
it's a flat roll. If you had conditions, the number of conditions would add to the roll. Thanks, Yosh. Sorry, I missed
7.
that piece. Okay, on a 7 to 9, you can lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition on someone. You can give ground, which means that your opposition gets an opportunity, or you can struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. And I will remove that. I'm going to give you a condition. This is what we should have done. This is the appropriate reaction to taking a powerful blow.
Okay.
So, which of those 3 options on take a powerful blow would you like to?
I think. I think I give ground, and they get an opportunity. That makes sense for the fiction, I think.
Okay, cool. So we'll take away the condition then because you did not choose the 2 conditions. So you give some ground, and the opportunity that she gets, the snapping turtle gets, is that she doesn't roll dice, right? So her opportunity is that it opens a gaping hole, and she goes directly for Shadow again, turning on her jump boots and blasting towards him. She says something as she's rocketing towards you, Shadow. She says, "The Raja is displeased with you."
So I think that actually makes me angry and scared at the same time. I think I'm going to so can I provoke her? Can I basically say try and get more information at this point?
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So basically I think this is what do you know of the Raja? You're just a thug.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. So when you provoke someone susceptible to your words, say what you're trying to get out of them, and do, which you have, roll plus superior. For NPCs, we have certain options. For PCs, we have different options.
Okay.
Your superior is
a
-1.
Yeah, so I got an 8.
Dang it. I was hoping for a fail. Sweet. On a 7 to 9, they can instead choose 1 if they don't take the bait. So she can take the bait and say, or she can stumble and you get a +1 forward. If they err, you gain a critical opportunity, or they overreact, you gain influence over them. Oh, you get influence over Snapping Turtle. And she overreacts a little bit there. But what? I am no thug. I am the Snapping Turtle. And yeah, she rockets past you. You're able to dodge out of the way from where she was going to bowl you over, and now she's hovering up in the air, and she's going to start bringing some weapons online.
How do you use influence against an NPC?
Great question. So using influence, you basically would, when you have influence, you have +1 on all moves targeting them. When you take advantage of that influence, you can inflict a condition on someone. If someone has all their condition tracks maxed out, they're out of a fight. You can also take an additional +1 on a move targeting them after the roll, or if it were a PC, you could give them a -2.
Okay. So what's a good thing? So she starts powering up weapons at me.
Mhm.
And I'm actually, I think what I'm going to do is, so Impulse was kind of knocked to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to, of of Impulse, basically make myself a bigger target in between Impulse and the snapping turtle, and kind of draw the fire and say, hey, #squared, it's your turn.
Sweet. Okay, then go ahead and roll plus savior. Boy, you just keep hitting the saviors. I love it. It's a fail will happen. I know it.
Oops. So that's a 6 minus 1 is a 5.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, 2 people could use teams to try to save your bacon, or you can just eat it and get a potential.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
All right, sweet. So you move in the way, and Argent, this is kind of ties a little bit to your previous question where you were watching, get a little bit more information. Shadow didn't catch this, but she was going to fire on him all along. And so when he moves to try to protect his teammate, Impulse, she just kind of moves her tracking. She's got the flame here. She's got popped up a little pop-up turret, all like from the Predator movie, right? And turret pops out. And she's going to unload on you. And so you need to take a powerful blow, Shadow.
Is there a way I can interfere with that? No, I probably can't. Not in this rule system, can I?
I mean, you could try to interfere. That would be a team roll, but then they're only pushed to a 6, and then I get to hurt you too, which I'm okay with.
So I'm going to roll, take a powerful blow. 10, is that? Oh, that's plus condition, so it's a 10 straight out.
Yes, it is. Okay, you must remove yourself from the situation, flee, pass out, etc. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way. Or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
Yeah, I actually like the middle one, the lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, because that, I think, could advance my Doom track, which is what the playbook's about. That's awesome.
Yes, let's do that Doom track.
Do you narrate it or do I?
Give me. It sounds like you have an idea. What thoughts do you have here?
So basically, I think what happens in this case. So what happens in this case is that whenever the missiles start slamming in, the flame appears and the darkness under the cloak kind of grows out. And you start to see things go in, and you hear far off explosions as they explode in a different realm or far off. But the darkness grows bigger than it should, and it starts to lap at the edges of the car and the scenery, and pieces of it start to disappear and get sucked in.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
It gets really cold. I think everyone, all the heroes start to feel maybe a little bit of frost or something coming up on them. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. Oh shoot. I'm so tempted to do something mean to have a cliffhanger here hinting.
Is it time?
I mean, we got, that's the thing. It's a little on the early side. We didn't.
But still do something mean. I'm fine with
that. Sweet. So it comes out. The edges seem to stop. Like it expands quickly. The shadow comes and it swallows up all the light, and you can actually see. We see from the side, like the car, right? Those pieces of the car, and everything stops for a second, and then there's an explosion of shadow. And when we come back from that shadow, like there's a whole page of black. When we go into the gutter, into the very next, you've got to flip the page. And the last thing we see is we see Impulse sitting with his back against the broken fire hydrant and nobody else. because Fraser's not here next week, so I'll tie the two together.
That's true. Nice. Nice
And
little
yeah,
bow there.
so then next issue, you guys will pick up in some shadowy realm with Snapping Turtle and the three of you. So sorry it's early, but I really like that, and also there's a lot of like influency stuff, so we get to do that thing.
Yeah.
Cool. End of session. Everybody take a moment, and at the end of session, I'm going to ask a question whether you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team. And those answers will drive forward some pretty cool stuff.
I feel like I went away from the team because they're gone.
Cool. Okay, so you grew away from the team. Why do you feel detached?
Because they're gone.
They're gone. Take influence over you away from another character.
Over you, away from another character.
Someone who has influence over you, you take it away from them.
Maybe Shadow.
Okay. Cool. So Shadow no longer has influence over you. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't note it. Okay, cool. I was just, you can also note who has influence over you.
Oh, and I didn't put anything there. Yeah.
It's no biggie. Awesome.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because Shadow was the kind of the reason that everybody left.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's perfect.
So.
Awesome. So then let us ask hashtag. Did you grow from the events of this session? Did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
I would say I grew closer to the team. I mean, we're hanging out together, and it looks like the team is actually going to stick around rather than just sort of like dissipating.
Who made you feel welcome?
I'm going to go with Argent here. I mean, we took the subway together over to his, his place, and I got kind of welcomed in, basically, even though his mentor kind of hates me.
Well, Sika did defend you too, though.
Yeah.
And Yoshi, what is the pronunciation? Because everyone keeps saying it differently.
I don't actually know. I've been going with Sika.
Sika, okay.
So in this stage, so I've got 3 people already have influence over me. If I give influence to them, does anything happen, or do they shift the labels, or how does that work out?
They shift the labels. So if you give influence to someone who already has influence over you,
okay,
then they don't get mega influence. They just shift your labels. But if you gave it to Argent, I don't think he had it.
Right.
So then that would you just give it to Argent. And you can either clear a condition, which you don't have, or mark a potential.
Oh, well, I want the potential.
Yeah, good call.
All right.
Sweet. Argent, did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
Well, I think in the aggregate, although I really liked what hashtag said about us, because I agree with that, I feel more distant from the team due to my own actions. Well, actually, due to my own inaction. I feel like I feel detached because I feel like I spent too much time worrying about what old Finn stuff and not enough time actually bonding with my team. And I feel like I could have done more to so I feel detached because I don't feel like I acted quickly or proactively enough.
I like it. Who do you take influence away from over you?
Well, since I want to say that it's Sika, because even though that doesn't make sense necessarily on the surface, influence over me has to stay because a lot of my feeling of detachment has to do with my lack of helping Shadow deal with that last situation.
I like it. Cool. Thank you. Shadow, did you grow closer, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
So I grew away from the team because my personal data with my nemesis was brought up, and it overwhelmed the relationships with the rest of the team members
Nice.
at that point.
Who do you
as
take
part of the team.
influence? Who do you take influence away from?
So I think that's Sika. Earlier in the fight, I moved to defend Sika, and I think that could be seen as a weakness by the snapping turtle.
Nice. I like it.
I think that's it.
Last but not least, the Sika character.
So I think I'm gonna go with I grew closer to the team, and I think it's gonna be hashtag is the person who I was inviting. Like I think they were the one who kind of like engaged the threat and actually started being active, like with the whole training exercise. And like I think I was buying into that, and so like I appreciated them like buying into the let's do this training thing legitly.
Nice. And because he already has influence over you, then you can shift one of Sika's labels up and the other down.
Okay, so I'll shift. I think it kind of makes sense to shift mundane up a little bit, because I mean that's kind of it just makes sense to me here. It kind of relates to how these characters relate to each other, and then I'll shift superior down.
Nice.
Cool.
That finishes up the end of session moves. I'm going to make a quick pit stop, so let's take 2 minutes, and if you guys don't mind, I'd love to do roses and thorns. Cool. All right. I'll talk to you guys in
Okay.
2. When you drink 2 of these in 2 hours, you need to pee.
Yeah, that's
Not that needs to be broadcast to anyone, but because you already know that. But whatever. Said it.
Let's see who we got.
All right. Just wait for Michael, and then we'll do thorns and then roses. All right, cool. So we start off with thorns and then roses. I think everybody's comfortable with that because you've participated in games where it exists. Thorn for me, I feel like my kickoff was a little weak and slow. Like I feel like I could have pushed us to get started faster, and we spent a whole lot of time for a 4-session game in world building and kibitzing and stuff like that. So that's a thorn for me. I really wish that I could have kicked us off with a stronger thrust. Maybe Snapping Turtle wasn't the best choice. So yeah, there are my thorns as I'm thinking about the session. So anyone else like to step forward with a thorn?
I've got one.
Yeah.
So it's more that something I've seen in other games that I like that was lacking. So like one of the directives for masks, I think, is always about describing things in comic book panels. And like I think we sort of stepped away from that a little bit. You did some good stuff, Rich, but like I wasn't like really thinking about like how would this look like in a comic book page? And so like whether it's me or anybody else, like I think sometimes that really helps me get into like what masks would be like about and what it looks like. And I feel like at least I did, and I felt everybody could have stepped up there describing like a comic book panel type thing.
I think that's a fair point. We did a little bit of it. We also talked about TV shots and stuff. So it's a different framing mechanic, literally, and I do like it. Maybe I could work that into like a pre-talk thing just to give people the heads up to think that way, because I think we generally have a TV framing device that we use in a lot of the games that I play in. So fair point. Very good. Steven, what thorns do you have, sir?
Yeah, I played Masks a few times before, and I haven't played it since the playtest, but in my opinion, it's still about the same. Masks is a little fiddly. It's a little more fiddly than I'm used to with PBTA games. It has a lot of manipulation, of course, of the stats, which is really important to the game, so it's needed. There's a lot of fiddliness, and I think I'm not sure how to address that to make it any better, because I think all of the fiddliness is important to the relationships and important to showing how the characters grow and all of that. But it still takes me a little bit out of the game.
Yeah, I hear you. I was really happy that we didn't, because sometimes the end of session moves can go on and on and on and on, and it seems like it hits a point where it doesn't expand any further, but that it becomes the default assumption that you're going to spend 20 minutes. Urban Shadows is similar for me in that, like, you got another, like, you better end 15 minutes early because otherwise you're going to run way the hell over. So, fair point. Mick, thorns from you, sir. You're muted.
Gosh. I think a little bit of what Steven said resonates with my my only real thorn is the kind of thorn that I think happens with any new group in the first session, some of whom haven't played together before, and some of them who haven't played the game before, and some of them who are not used to. So it's like I feel like Mick's participation in this situation is similar to what I've already described Finn's sense of the training situation. Like, I feel like I decided not to be as proactive as I could have been, or like, say, oh, somebody else has probably got a better idea than I've got. I'm gonna hold back here. Or, I want to let everybody else say their things because I'm afraid that I'm going to try to introduce too much world building in this or whatever. So I just kind of I distanced myself a little. So that's on me. It's completely on me. But it's something I hope to improve next week.
Cool. I think that's a good goal to set for yourself. I don't want you to feel like you should wait for other people to come up with a great idea. Now, that said, I also applaud the idea of people mentally checking themselves to make sure that they're not always the one to leap forward. Kind of like it's like, when do you find that right balance though? So
Right. But I feel like I can be that guy where I step on too much, where I try to interject too much, especially when I'm excited and when I'm really engaged. So I wanted to sort of mentally pull back, and I think I may have pulled back too much.
something to reflect on for next week. Michael, what thorns do you have, sir?
I don't have any big ones, but one thing I kind of realized with the delinquent in the middle of this session is I'm going to have to act like a dick to everyone to get the most out of this playbook, so I apologize in advance for the next 3 sessions. I think I played the delinquent a little bit too nice in this one, but that's, I don't want to play a, terrible character, but, anything that I do that's delinquent-y, that's going to happen.
So, you take it where you would like. I've seen the delinquent played as more against the man and encouraging people to do selfish things or to not listen to authority. So you don't necessarily have to be directly oppositional. It can often be orthogonal against.
Okay.
You can mix and play. You can mix and match.
I'm probably going to do both, yeah.
I like both.
I'm not going to play him as like a jerk all the time, but I feel like you have to play the delinquent as a jerk, like
they're a little jerky
some of the time.
Judd Nelson's character in Breakfast Club was the delinquent, and occasionally he was a real ass to people. but what was great about that character, what can be great about the delinquent, is when they come around, man, it feels really good.
Right. I need to watch that movie again.
You should, because it's great.
Character, yeah.
Last but not least, Thorns from Impulse.
Yeah, I think that I held back a little too much just because I wasn't prepared. I didn't read it yet, so next time I'll be prepared and I'll be more engaged with the fiction. I think because I was doing the most of the, like, I might have put us off kilter the most because I was the one that was treating it like a TV show more so.
Yeah, like one time, dude. Don't you don't need to fall on the grenade here. I think it's a good feedback all across. I'm sorry, I just talked you out of your thorn. I try not to do that, but
no worries. But yeah, I'll be more engaged when I'm more comfortable with what's going on. So I just need to
2 weeks.
So Fraser, just so you know, you have a very high mundane. So the thing that you should be looking at is like reading people and getting information and then sharing that, because that is the mundane is all about that, and then also about comforting other people.
Exactly.
So all those people with conditions, like that's where you should be leaning into with that high.
Well, with the Janus, you can flip it around though too, so you can swap that. I think once per session for whatever your sort of banner attribute is.
Mm-hmm. My mask attribute.
Yeah.
Savior.
Superior.
Yeah, right now, this session I had chosen Savior, but yeah, it just seems with like, well, because if I don't lean into that mundane stuff, then it could just switch anyway, right, to something else being more anyway. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to rely on the mask, you can totally flip it.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
see.
stay with you then, Fraser. What roses do you have?
I'm super happy to be back in a game with everybody. I think I've played with everybody except Michael, and I think I'm excited to see where the delinquent goes. The delinquent kind of makes me think of Loki, where like sometimes he's, you can never trust them, but you want to believe in them, but then they do dick things, but then they're nice again and stuff like that. Right. So yeah, I'm excited to again for 2 weeks from now to play again, and I'm excited to play a superhero game again too, because I read a lot of comics.
I would hope so, since your brother did a whole superhero game, you probably had to think a lot about superhero stuff. Cool. Michael, roses from you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see where this one goes. I mean, we spent a lot of, I think, really key time on that character setup, and I'm really excited for this cast and kind of how everybody relates to each other. I mean, I think that stuff has like a lot of payoff. I don't think. I mean, obviously, we don't see it all in this session, but like I think we've built like a really great foundation with everybody. I'm excited to see where these characters go with each other.
Yeah, I told myself, I kept feeling bad because I'm like, oh my God, it's 45 minutes and we're not done with characters. Oh my gosh, it's like an hour and 15 minutes
Right.
and we just now finished the team. But then we're like, okay, I know they're all signed up for all four. Well,
Right.
three for Frazier, everybody else all for 4. So you're right, it is an investment.
Long character creation I find really works for 3 or 4 session games even. I mean, I was in the watch at Dreamation, which was a 3 session thing, and we spent like 90 minutes on character creation to start with, and like the payoff was absolutely worth it. So I mean, I trust that it's worth it here too.
Cool. Nick, what roses do you have, sir?
Okay, first I want to echo what Michael just said. I like that stuff too. I like in-depth character and world building stuff. It's pretty much in many ways almost as fun, if not as fun, as actual play definition. So, and I think that there is a lot of potential for payoff. So I'm totally agreeing with that, Rose. I also want to give a Rose. I think that the idea of coming together in the lair and then doing a training session was the perfect way to start us off and pull us in. And for what it's worth, maybe you had this in mind, maybe you didn't, but it feels to me like there's like something going on with Snapping Turtle that is clearly more than she was actually hired for. And I like the idea that this training session has now very likely turned into something that was never intended by Old Finn and Silver Fox or any of the other people who are watching over us. So that's a really cool idea. And I look forward to what happens next because of that.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to insert, just to quickly say a rose to Steven for choosing what you did with that mixed result. Thank you. That was so perfect. Steven, what roses do you have?
So I have to admit, so I was a little unprepared. Things have been busy and everything coming into the session. I was a little nervous about character creation. I didn't have a great idea. And I thought, well, I'll use my old character that I played, maybe a year ago or 6 months ago or something like that. But I thought it carries all this baggage. So I was really nervous about bringing that to the table. And the idea of, this is another parallel universe and I can use the same character, but it's sort of a cover song to the original. I was like, that's brilliant. It opens me completely open. It opens me up to, the same character, but a completely, different story. And that was my favorite thing. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad.
I felt relieved.
The cover band. That's a great. I'm going to use that one next time around. Like, this is the cover band version. I love that. That's really smart. Yosh, what about you?
So I really enjoyed all of the characters and like the world building. But in particular, I'm interested in like the Doomed, just because like I like that matching our discussion of theme and tonality of it being a little bit darker, a little bit grimmer, and then maybe like with the fact that it's a 4-session thing, that maybe really trying to, and if the Doom track is already somewhat accelerated, like getting to that point where we're really talking about and dealing with it. And I really liked how the Snapping Turtle reiterated that and brought that nemesis back into it. So I thought that whole bit was really interesting, and I find that very compelling.
Cool. My rose, I love, Michael, that you went with hashtag. Like, that was great. And hashtag, and the whole GoPro on in the YouTube, and that was really, really cool.
I'm gonna try to steal one of the old man's drones so I can, if he's got any kind of like remote control thing, I'm gonna try to jack it.
Yes. We have to make that's like a beacon drive right there. It needs to happen. I liked Sika a lot. The kawaii aspect with this darker Zaibatsu legacy thing going on that the vibe I was picking up there, really interesting. And Steven, I'm glad, like at first I was nervous about Tyrell coming in, but man, I like him in this team, and I like that you kept the Doom track slightly advanced. Like, it's scary. That is something we can get to. So good choice. Argent is fun, and I love the ideas behind that struggle he has, the old Finn versus current Finn. I really dig that. I think you made the right choice going to the protege playbook, and I think it suits it really, really well. And
yeah, it does feel good.
I like it. And Frazier, man, don't kick yourself, man. I really enjoy Impulse. I love the setup. I love some of the little things that I snagged out of what you were writing for the backstory. I'm so gonna pull that up. You're like, I can't wait till we do the 2-world story of, like, if they're back. Who knows what happens in the next session? They may be totally back and you don't even miss them, but they may be in the Shadow Realm, the subterranean Shadow Realm, because we've got,
I just kind of want to see, like, when we do next session, like, even if you're not going to be there, Frazier, like, if you can talk to Rich about, like, what are the 3 comic panels that would get interjected into our scene, like, as we're playing through it, and we just see, like, Impulse doing other things or, like, talking about, like, whatever other people. Like, I want to see that next session, even if you're not there.
Yeah, I like that.
Sure, yeah, that sounds great too. Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, and cool picture for Impulse too, by the way. I really dig the pic that you found for him.
Yeah, that is cool.
I liked it because it's like something that you would see in real life, like a cosplay or something. That's really well done.
You could cosplay as Impulse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So
Cool.
I have a comment. So we talked about a few things, and a few people said that they liked the idea of the Doom track and all of that. Looking at the playbook, it accelerates slower than I thought it would. XP, and when you get to that middle point, so whenever you get to the 5th level equivalent, that's whenever the Doomed goes away track. So that was one of the things I actually felt bad about restarting, was I didn't really want to restart that Doom track.
Right.
I kind of want to push that a little bit further. So with everyone's permission, I think I'd like to keep the Doom track I had from before, just to keep that pushing. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, I'd assume that's what you did.
No, huh?
I thought so too.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just kind of felt like it wasn't fair to start over with the same Doom track, but I'll move it forward a little bit to accelerate that. Sounds good.
Yeah. Let's do that. Sweet. Well, gentlemen, thank you for giving me a few hours of your morning. I hope that you have had a good time, and I very much look forward to seeing everyone next week or in 2 weeks. I'm so sad, Frazier. I'm so sad.
Yeah. I had to.
No,
I had to do the I just decided to go to Breakout sooner, and then yeah.
Dude, you're a guest at Breakout. You should do that thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you're going to Breakout. Just said, but it's okay. We'll think of you and wish you well as people are coming up and getting your autograph and showing you, getting the veil signed, and you're sitting on panels. Cool, man. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's my first con ever, so
You're going to be spoiled.
Oh, wow.
You're going to be spoiled. All other cons, you'll be like, this wasn't as good as Breakout.
yeah,
Sweet.
maybe.
Well, everybody have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
Thanks so much.